Hello and welcome back to Traversing the Cosmos. My name is Fola and I am happy to have you here. This is a safe space to discuss the astrological energies swirling around in the sky and how they affect our lives in real time. Today, we are going to talk about the planetary transits taking place during the final week of Taurus season, May 13th through the 19th. We've got a lot to talk about, friends, okay? Taurus season may be coming to an end, but the finale is going to make a pretty big statement. We are being jostled into alignment and prepped to step into our most expansive selves. So, without further ado, let's dive in. This week starts off with a 3-for-1 combo. On Monday, May 13th, Mercury finally leaves the shadow period. The Sun will make its yearly conjunction with Uranus, and Venus is going to sextile Saturn. It's interesting because the first two transits are actually going to happen simultaneously. This is at exactly 5 a.m. in the morning Eastern Standard Time, and it most certainly is not a coincidence. Mercury leaving the shadow period symbolizes the completion of this retrograde cycle and learning experience. What has this retrograde taught you about yourself? What about your way of processing or communicating has been brought to light? Uncovering this message may have been undeniably loud and difficult, or it may have been a much quieter internal process. Either way, there is a nugget of wisdom that you are finally getting a chance to fully integrate and move forward with. It feels like our retrograde leash is being removed, and now we are free to roam with our newly acquired knowledge. It just so happens that our newfound freedom has come at the perfect time. It comes just as the Sun is having its annual tryst with Uranus, the planet of freedom, rebellion, and divine intervention. Every year, the Sun and Uranus work together to bring something new and unexpected into our lives. For the last 5 years, they've been working together during Taurus season and presenting us with ways to shift our displayed values to match our internal value system. Together, they can bring our attention to new ways to save money, invest in ourselves, and create sustainable stability. They do so by shaking us out of our comfort zone. By presenting an obstacle, you are afforded the opportunity to learn to overcome and therefore move closer to personal freedom. Uranus shows us how to be adaptable, resourceful, and how to surrender to the universe's plans. I'm seeing a visual of a surfboard riding a huge crashing wave. It requires a delicate balance of will and surrender because the wave can take you down if you resist or panic. But if you allow yourself to surrender to the rhythm of the water, respect the power of the wave, and take the opportunity when it presents itself, you'll be riding high and with a full heart and a deeper connection to the magic you are capable of. Today, ride the wave and do your very best to bask in the glory of divine inspiration. Like I said, these transits culminate very early Monday morning, so I expect to feel the height of this energy the night before as well. During this time, be easy on yourself and make sure to utilize grounding techniques to curb any worries that may be rising up within us to resist the unknown. A little later on in the afternoon, our third major transit of the day is going to peak. At 3:16 p.m. EST, Venus in Taurus will sextile Saturn in Pisces at 17 degrees. Saturn is working in new territory and sowing seeds with Venus at his helm. There's something sweet about this transit. It feels soothing to me. When Venus and Saturn work together, they are usually finding a way to scale something back, refine, or bring clarity to patterns. This sextile, though, feels like a calculated soft landing. Like, instead of being a gentle reminder to live by our value system, Venus in Taurus and Saturn in Pisces are providing you with a safety net after the Sun and Uranus have you trust falling into new territory. They are here to prove to you that the universe has your back. This transit feels like a gift or a kind reassurance that you are taken care of and oh so guided. Venus and Saturn are sowing the seeds of faith, patience, receptivity, and belonging into our hearts during this time. So, quick recap. May 13th is a day for epiphanies, revelations, comprehension, and integration. We're going to have a couple of days to sit with that energy before the next planetary shift occurs. And on May 15th, Mercury is going to enter Taurus, a sign she has to slow down for. And as you know from the retrograde, Mercury doesn't really enjoy feeling impeded or binded, so there's a potential for frustration to occur during this 3-week transit. Mercury will traverse this Taurus territory until June 3rd, forcing us to take a step back and contemplate how to take our vision and make it practical. This is a great time to make plans for your future endeavors and figure out how to make things make sense. What do you need physically to continue your progression? What resources do you require? Taurus energy teaches us that slow, steady, and prepared are surefire pathways to success. So take your time, put in the effort, and continue to water your seeds. Fast forward a couple of days, and Mercury is then going to square Pluto in Aquarius at 2 degrees. Now, you may have noticed a pattern. Any planet that enters Taurus is going to immediately square Pluto right afterwards. Our Taurus energy is being reprogrammed by a revolutionary interruption. The Sun and Venus have already gone through their impasse with Pluto, and Mars is not too far behind. Pluto is impacting how we move, how we think, what we value, what we are passionate about, and how we take action. How is Pluto working with you personally? Well, take a look at your chart and see where your Aquarius energy lies. Mine is in my 12th house and it's squaring my 2nd house. So this shift is occurring in my alone time and addressing my sense of self-worth. Okay? 12th house alone time, 2nd house sense of self-worth. Pluto has been encouraging me to implement a daily practice of meditation. It allows me to find more self-assurance in the steps that I take. Instead of always being on the move and in the physical realm, I take time to sit in quiet contemplation and to center myself to build a deeper trust within me. This way, I'm no longer second-guessing myself or stressed that I've made a decision that will bite me in the ass. I'm more confident when I meditate routinely, and I'm certainly my most rebellious and liberated self when I'm assured. Pluto, for me, has been implementing a new habit into my life that has given me a higher sense of value. So that's how you do it. You take the house that Pluto is in, what that house represents, take the house that Taurus is in and rules over, or technically you want to take the house that the sign or the planet is in. Yes, so like right now, Taurus at 2 degrees is my 2nd house, but I do have Taurus ruling my 3rd house. Okay, so it can get a little tricky. You do have to look at your chart and see exactly where the transit is taking place for you. But you take the house of Pluto, the house that the Taurus energy is in, and you do some investigating. What has been showing up for you? What has been popping up for you? How have you been shifting? The very next day is going to be a doozy. On May 18th, Venus will conjunct Uranus and Taurus at 23 degrees, and the Sun will make its annual conjunction with Jupiter at 28 degrees. The Taurus energy will be heightened as these 4 planets come together in the sky. Although the Sun makes a conjunction with the Great Benefic every single year, the Sun and Jupiter haven't made this conjunction in the sign of Taurus since May 13th, 2012. Take a second to think about the last 12 years and the cycle that began in 2012. What leap did you make back then? And what is now reaching completion? You could be reframing your ideas of expanding your horizons, closing out a chapter, or taking the risk you took in 2012 and upping the bet. For instance, May 2012 was when I made the decision to move out of my mother's home. I had never lived on my own before, but I up and left. And the past 12 years have been an incredible journey learning that I can take care of myself. Fast forward to today, and I'm currently contemplating moving to a different country. Very similar themes of garnering independence and chasing after my dreams, but on a much larger scale. It ups the ante. I'm using myself as an example so that you can get an idea of how to read transits and energy shifts in your own chart. So stick with me here. The later degrees of Taurus reside in my third house of communication and short distance traveling. So the first move in 2012 was right on the third house wheelhouse, right in that sweet spot. But it looks a bit different this time. Now, the Sun and Jupiter are not only working in my third house, but they are looking at the house directly across the street. The third and ninth houses are partners in crime and are intimately connected. And having a big transit in a house will often affect the opposing house as well. Just as the signs are divinely paired and have sisters, so do the houses. The ninth house rules long-distance travel, philosophy, and spirituality, and it's almost as if Jupiter and the Sun are in my third house, generating the power and confidence I need to break out of the confines of my immediate environment and expand into the larger ninth house territory. The astrology of it all gets layered and layered and layered, but I did want to add this in just so that you can know that that is another added layer. If you're having a first house transit, look at your seventh house of relationships, second house, eighth house, third and ninth, fourth and 10th, your home and career are intimately intertwined. Fifth and 11th. 6th and 12th, okay? You get the point. But yeah, that's a little bit of we'll call it intermediate astrology, okay? It's the second layer. But back to Jupiter, the Sun, Uranus, and dear sweet Venus. Uranus and Venus are here to bring in something you didn't even know you wanted. There may be some resistance involved because Venus in Taurus thinks she knows exactly what she wants. She's very particular about it and doesn't really like surprises. Venus in Taurus is in bed by 10 p.m. with lavender-scented sheets and some soft music playing in the background. Meanwhile, Uranus is coming in as the eccentric friend who forces Venus out of her comfort zone and has her partying and wandering the streets until 3 a.m. Venus and Uranus are bringing necessary unrest into our lives, and the Sun and Jupiter are boosting us with the confidence we need to take on whatever comes our way. The final days of Taurus season has us embracing the unexpected on our path to harmony and stability. I'm seeing the Six of Pentacles, and the message coming up is give and be given to. The universe is providing for us. Opening ourselves up to the suggestions being offered and surrendering to the process of alchemy is greatly advised. You don't want to miss the gifts that life has planned for you. So keep your eyes peeled, your spirit grounded, and your attachments light. Last but certainly not least, this is the final day of Taurus season, May 19th, and we have major transits taking place that are going to catapult us into Gemini season with a vengeance. At 6:18 p.m., the Sun in Taurus is going to sextile Neptune in Pisces at 29 degrees of both signs. Take a look. Do you have anything at 29 degrees? Of the earth signs and of the water signs, of the fixed signs and of the mutable signs. This energy is going to be potent if you have planets or prominent points at 29 degrees of Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Aquarius, and Leo. This transit is a prerequisite for the upcoming Mars North Node conjunction that we've all been waiting for. Neptune is coming in contact with the Sun in Taurus to provide catharsis, We've been talking about surrendering to the will of your higher self for a few weeks now. Now let's talk about how we can allow ourselves to live in the in-between without being engulfed by feelings of uncomfortability. Surrendering is hard. It's a difficult thing to do because we are brought up in a world where we're taught that living is doing and achieving. We are taught that life is about masculine energy at all times and constantly going to get the proverbial bag. This way of living can actually lead to creative stagnancy, burnout, and frustration. It can lead to living a life that is full of fancy things and devoid of peace, love, and authenticity. This transit feels like an illumination of your dreams and visions, of your goals, but also of where your spirit is being divinely guided to go. Neptune wants you to open up your heart and your mind, to see past what is right in front of you, to gather the signs that the universe has been sending your way, and to finally be able to put the puzzle pieces together. It's like Neptune and the sun are bringing you this pretty vision, this picture of what you can have, of what you can be, and it's doing so right in the nick of time. You know why? Because just a few hours later, Mars and the North Node are going to make a conjunction in the sign of Aries at 15 degrees. This is the final transit that will take place this Taurus season, and it's the epitome of saving the best for last. The last 2 months, we've been in an incubation period, working to birth something into existence in our lives. We have been gestating, making tweaks, and gathering our resources, strengthening our will, and honing in on what we are passionate about. In my opinion, it was all leading up to this point. The water has broken, and now is the time to start pushing and taking action. Mars and the North Node are insatiable in their own right, but when both signs are in Aries, they are the eye of the dragon, laser focused and infused with the energy of 1,000 men. Mars in Aries gets shit done, and the North Node is pointing us all towards our own individual path of growth. What is next? Mars and the North Node in Aries are saying, let's go get it. It's fucking time. Now, I'm not going to lie. This energy in Aries can be very confrontational, okay? We're talking about Mars, the planet of war. We're talking about the North Node that literally cannot ever be satisfied. So, avoid arguments, avoid fights, if you have the luxury to do so, all right? Like I said, this energy is working with everybody, so someone may come to you with nonsense, and maybe take into account that that's the energy that's happening today. Maybe take a step back from the fights, but if you must fight for your right to party, I'm not going to begrudge you that. But the best way to move about this energy is to stay out of everyone else's way. Focus on you, and in a perfect world, if everybody's doing that, then we'll all be out of each other's crosshairs. This day is a day for divine expansion, to take charge and leap into the future. This is a day to take a risk. It's a day to stand up for what you believe in. It's a day to start something new with renewed energy and renewed passion. It's a day to double down and take the insight that you have been gaining for the past few months. Take the new avenue that you have been cultivating and opening up for the past 2 months. And don't look back. I'm really interested in seeing how this is opening up for you guys, okay? So let me know down in the comments. How is this shifting for you? What is taking off for you? Where does your Aries energy lie? Where is this conjunction happening in your chart? And what is springing forth? I'm really, really excited for us, okay? This Taurus season has felt like we've been baking, we've been baking in the oven, and this Mars conjunction with the North Node it's like, ding, the pie is ready. And not only is it ready, it's piping hot and it smells so, so good. All right. I appreciate you so much for joining me on this journey. We are going to start our journey into Gemini season. Next podcast, we're going to do a little overview. I'm going to pull some cards for you, just like I did for Taurus season. And then we'll get into the transits. I hope your Taurus season has been blessed and nourishing. And I'm excited for the collective for Gemini season. And I can't wait to start delving into those transits. But enjoy this week. Enjoy the energy. Use this energy to catapult you into a newer version of yourselves. And I will see you next time. Bye. Oh, wait. Don't forget. You belong. Bye now.